Welcome in to I Remember My First Time.
Oh yeah, that's exciting.
Ah, don't be nasty, Jacob. Not that first time.
God damn it.
This is a podcast about cinematic awakenings,
Ooh, I like the sound of that.
where we talk about movies we love with someone who just popped their cherry to that movie.
Oh yeah.
I don't even know what to say. Uh, Jacob, are all the movies we do on this podcast going to be good movies?
God, I fucking hope not.
Do we like shitty movies?
Mm. We love shitty movies, sometimes even more than good movies.
Are we critics?
Absolutely not.
But do we love movies?
Oh, we love the shit out of movies. And this week is our first Christmas episode, so we decided to start with our violent Christmas movie tradition. We did John Woo's reintroduction back into American cinema with the 2023 dog shit classic, Silent Night.
Jacob, there are no quotes to use for this movie.
BJ, nobody says a fucking word in this movie.
I am BJ Leica, and there are no quotes to use for this movie.
Joined as always by me, Jakey Beacons. And again, nobody says a fucking word in this movie.
We're not exaggerating. There's not a word in this movie. There's AM
okay.
talk radio background
And YouTube training videos. That's it. It was an odd choice. Before we get into the meat of this movie, I just want to say something because I know it will annoy the absolute shit out of you. I am super excited for Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul tomorrow night. I can't tell you how excited I am. Never seen Mike Tyson fight. I've always wanted to see Mike Tyson fight. I'm aware that he's 57 years old. I'm aware Jake Paul's in his prime. Doesn't mean I don't want Mike Tyson to win. But you did send me a text message earlier, and I think 85% of people think he will win. Like, are people retarded?
So I thought I was crazy, so I had to look it up. I think Vegas has something like Jake Paul has like a 68% chance to win. And I was like, okay, good. I'm not crazy.
Oh, okay, cool.
Now,
At least,
who am I rooting for? Yeah, of course I'm rooting for Iron Mike.
yeah, duh. Who could you? I mean, who could you really be rooting for in this fight?
I mean, you could go for the person who hasn't been to jail for beating up a woman.
Yeah, you could, but I'm not gonna. I mean, we have a person who committed sexual assault, cheated on their wife, and is just the apex of amoral as our president. I can root for someone that went to jail on domestic violence. This is the world we live in. We made it possible. So don't get mad at me, okay?
Yeah, and I'm not the biggest boxing fan in the world, but I feel like people don't realize Jake Paul's a legitimate professional boxer. Is he championship caliber? No. He is a legitimate professional boxer in his late 20s, and Mike Tyson is 58 years old.
Yeah. Still want Mike Tyson to win. I guess there's a world where it could happen, but highly unlikely.
I watched a Lakers game last night, and the announcers were in awe about what LeBron was doing at 39. Mike Tyson is 19 years older than that.
Yeah.
I believe Mike Tyson is older than LeBron's mom.
Awesome. You can't make this shit up. But I'm excited for it. Anyways, sorry for the random sidebar. Let's get to the meat of this movie. Tell me how it's described. What do we have here for our
Th-
first Christmas movie?
this is
Silent night, holy night, all was right. I don't really know what I'm
that
trying to sing.
pussy was tight.
Thank you. Thank you.
I don't know the rest. Okay. Aptly a short description of the movie. A grieving father enacts his long-awaited revenge against a ruthless gang on Christmas Eve.
Cool. Just because I was so excited for this movie and it ended up being utter dog shit. Oh, never mind. I didn't have it. I didn't have it pulled up. Doesn't matter. I had a better description from somewhere that I came across, but this movie's too much dog shit for me to look for it.
5.3 out of 10 on IMDb.
Too high.
A 59% Rotten Tomatoes rating.
Too high.
And 53% Metacritic score.
Way too fucking high. Like, I thought Metacritic would give us something more accurate. So before we go on, every person that wrote a good review on this movie on IMDb, minus the one that I'm going to talk about, is like basically said, I guess the people who don't like this movie don't have kids. You have to be a parent to enjoy this movie. And my co-host is a parent of 2.
That's not true. We'll get to it later, but that's just flat out not true.
Okay, sorry, continue.
So basically the Metacritic reviews that gave it quote high scores end quote, whatever you want to call that, were basically like, hey, John Woo's back, isn't this cool? And that was really it. But I have some clips from the bad reviews.
Oh, these will be good.
Silent Night wants to be the new action movie associated with Christmas. But don't worry, fans of Die Hard, that movie's place is still secure. What a shame. Even a master filmmaker like John Woo couldn't at least partially liven up a derivative piece of action cinema like Silent Night. Like its main character, this movie seems hesitant to say anything. It sacrifices exhilaration and settles for emptiness. And the most apt one, where I couldn't say this any better than this one sentence right here. A boring, weightless revenge experiment that quickly goes awry. Silent Night features none of the charm or visual panache that made John Woo one of Hong Kong and Hollywood's foremost action stylists.
Nailed it, guy. I don't often say critics are welcome on this pod, but you can come on.
Yeah, that is a perfect one sentence review for this movie.
Yeah, I like you said, I couldn't have said it better. All right, the budget of this movie. Thankfully, it wasn't a lot. It is an independent film. It's one of the main reasons, if not the reason, John Woo took this movie. Independent film. I'll get into that during the trivia, but $10 million. It grossed in the U.S. and Canada. Oh, sorry, $10 million was its budget. Its opening weekend it made $3 million, so it's making all its money back. U.S. and Canada made $8 million, and worldwide it made just over 11. So it made all of its money back. Thank God. You know, we'll get. I only say thank God because John Woo's been making great movies in China for the last 20 years. Like, there's no way he's bad now.
Well, and I think his last American movie, correct me if I'm wrong, was it Paycheck with Benny Flack?
Paycheck with Benny Flack. And thank you, Benny Flack, because again, showed us your hanger. Show us your motherfucking dick, Michael Douglas.
I kind of liked Paycheck. Like, I'm pretty sure I've only seen it once, and I was probably in high school, but I was like, that was fun.
I mean, Ben Affleck doesn't really ever put out bad movies. He puts out movies you might not want to watch, but someone's going to watch them, and it's going to be good.
Oh, I've seen Geely. He's put out a bad movie.
Like I said, someone's gonna want to watch it. There are people that like rom-coms. That's a bad movie for me and you.
That's a bad movie for everybody.
I've never seen Geely, so I'm dying on this I'm dying on this hill. Ben Affleck doesn't put out bad movies. And the reason I'm so confident is when you have a dick as big as his, do you put out bad movies? We've seen it.
When in doubt, just whip that shit out.
I know, man. All right. What's next after budget? Cause shit. Oh, okay. Thoughts on the movie. BJ, you watched this movie 24 hours before I did. So you tell me your thoughts on it real quick.
A very bold choice to go the first 50 minutes of, I guess the first 90 seconds was an action scene. And then to go 50 straight minutes without dialogue or action.
No, BJ,
is
BJ,
bold
BJ
choice.
BJ, I'm asking you what you thought about this movie, not what you didn't like. We're gonna get there.
Oh, I'm not even close to talking about what I didn't like about this movie. I said it was a bold choice.
Okay.
And by bold choice, I mean boring as fuck, confusing as hell, and the last few action scenes weren't bad, but man, they just didn't pay off.
No, the action scenes didn't pay off. So the way I felt about this movie, I was super excited. A bad IMDb review said it best, not one that I chose, but they said the people that made this trailer should have made the movie. Because the trailer to this movie looks fucking amazing. I remember showing it to you last year, and you were like, "Yeah, let's do that one. I'm down," because it looks fucking awesome.
So I saw that trailer last year. Apparently, I didn't remember it. I had no effing clue what was happening the first 15 minutes of this movie. Like, there was clearly tons of emotion on the screen, and I'm like, why?
Yeah, because you don't see the newspaper clipping about the kid dying until 15 minutes in. And this brings me to another thing. Well, another bad review said it. It's just like, you got to have people talk to convey emotions. Only one person lost their voice. One single person. One. There's, I don't know, 6 or 7 other people in this movie that could talk at any given point, and they just fucking don't. Like, you don't think this guy wants to hear his wife talk about how much she misses their son? How does she not fucking talk?
Or her have the conversation like, you're losing it, man. You are losing it. I already lost my son. I can't lose you too.
I didn't understand that direction. Like, you said bold choice for them to go 45 minutes until the next action scene. Bold choice to make everyone not talk when only one person lost their voice. The detective doesn't talk. The wife doesn't talk. The head gangster doesn't talk. The head gangster's hitman doesn't talk. Every person that they come in contact with outside of that doesn't talk. I didn't understand it. I don't get it. It's a bad choice for me.
But even after that, so I was like, oh, okay, this is going to be kind of like Monkey Man, where I'm not really going to get it, but the action's going to make up for it. I had that feel. I was like, okay, the action's going to make up for it. This is going to be kind of like I said, like Monkey Man that we've recently done. Not a great movie, but if you haven't seen it, definitely watch that over this movie, because the action does not make up for those mind-boggling choices.
No, I 100% agree. Like, Monkey Man, you're not going to get it. Watch that instead. I watched the first 15 minutes of Boy Kills World, which started off really, really weird, but I've only seen 15 minutes of that movie. I'm going to say watch that movie instead too. Like, it's fucking off the wall. It's weird. It also has a character who does not talk, who lost their vocal cords, and this person has an internal monologue that's played by the guy who does Bob's Burgers. Like, way better. No internal monologue. I'm jumping ahead a little bit and I'll get further into it, but even the torture scene, I'm just like, we can't use Siri. Google? AI? Like, we can ask some fucking questions. Anyways, we'll get there. So many things I did. Was there anything I liked about this movie? I think I liked the trivia about this movie more than anything else in this movie. I'm not even a big fan of the action scenes. I mean, they weren't bad, but they weren't. Yeah, just I don't know if I liked anything about this movie.
I like the elevator pitch of this movie. You have middle class, blue collar, DIY Batman. That is a great idea. That is a phenomenal idea. This movie did not freaking do that.
No. I like that our favorite things about this movie aren't in the movie.
like what it could been. Somebody needs to have blue collar, middle income, DIY, vigilante, revenge Batman. I'll figure it out myself.
I'm just like everything is here for this movie to be good, and it's got John Woo. This shouldn't have been bad.
It's so frustrating. It was so frustrating to watch.
This might have been the worst movie we've ever done on the pod. We have a Hallmark Christmas movie that's about kids that fucking sucked and Troll Hunter. And this might be the worst movie we've ever done.
Troll Hunter at least is kind of fun.
Yeah, Troll Hunter's way fun. Like, and then it has little bits about old school troll folklore, and it's makes fun of itself, and like it's fun. It might not be your thing, and it very much wasn't. I enjoy the movie, but like, whatever.
Yeah, because have you ever seen a revenge movie where the guy is not, John McClane's at least a police officer, John Wick's an assassin, there's some special forces, military trained something. This is just a guy who works for the power company. I thought they were going to. Here's how you do this movie, right? First 5 minutes is him with his son. They're building a soapbox derby car. This guy's nothing special. He's a normal guy, but he's pretty handy. Then you show the death of his son with a stray bullet. Maybe you have some reasons on why he doesn't trust the cops, because that's never explained, but whatever. And then you got him doing the YouTube tutorials.
I mean, well, hold on, pause. Do we need a reason in movies to not trust cops? Like, are we that white, BJ?
No, but when your son is shot by a stray bullet and you saw the man who did it, you tell the cops.
But I'm okay not trusting cops. Anyways, I'm sorry. So, keep going.
There's a whole other conversation we need to have about that, because it's not so much not trusting. It's like not trusting the justice system. Like, is it corrupt? Have these guys been tried and they keep getting off because there's a corrupt judge? So you got to take matters into your own hands. What are you doing? But anyway, so then he builds cool shit and has a logical laid out plan and does that fucking plan with all the cool shit he built. It's not that hard. They didn't do it.
Yep. All right, well, we've beat this segment to absolute death. I don't even know if we got over everything, but it doesn't matter. Let's move. Oh, wait. Was it a good or bad movie? I don't know if you can tell yet, listeners, but this movie was fucking dog shit.
Terrible.
Don't watch it. Okay, Mount Rushmore of scenes. How do you want to do this? You want me to, like, we have the same four, right? Like, you want me to just go over my notes real quick for all four?
Here's what I did. I put in order the scenes that annoyed me the most.
Okay, and you don't have any notes to those scenes? You just have the scenes that annoy you the most?
Yeah.
Okay, you do yours, and then I'll do my classic Mount Rushmore with a bunch of notes. So you just do all yours of the scenes that annoyed you the most.
Okay, so the fourth scene that annoyed me the most was the first shootout that he's in, because we haven't talked about this yet. There's a 15-minute montage that shows him with knives, with guns, with, he's wrestling, he's doing jujitsu, he's learning how to drive the car. They don't ever show him shooting a gun out of a car window, which is what he does for 10 minutes in this scene. 10 minutes of him just shooting a gun out the window, and you had a 15-minute montage and didn't show that once. What is going on?
Also, the first gunfight, I'm just like, why? Why show up to a gangbangers standoff? There's no reason to do it.
Let them take care of each other.
Yeah. Clean up afterwards. I don't understand why he put himself in that situation. Stupid. So I love your idea for the Mount Rushmore scenes that annoyed you the most. This is fucking great. Okay. Third one.
Number 3 was the kidnapping scene. And he hands him the sheet of paper where he's like, is this human trafficking? Is this drug dealing? Is this money laundering? What is it? And I'm like, cool. We're going to get like a little bit of a detective thing. And that's how he's going to get with the cops. And that's how they're going to bust him. Cool. Great idea, John Woo. Awesome. Nope. It had nothing to do with the rest of the movie. Just ended.
Like for me, I took that scene differently. I thought it was like, I know this gang's doing all this stuff because I've been doing surveillance for the last year. Tell me how it all works.
Either way.
But again, this is because we didn't use Siri or Google or Amazon voice or AI. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Whatever, Alexa, fuck that bitch. Like, what are we doing? It's 2023. You can do this shit. I don't know about you, but being a male, for some reason, the new Facebook thing is to send me apps where I can create an AI girlfriend that will send me nudie pics. Like, like those are the ads I get on social media now, and I'm so annoyed by it because I'm just like, fucking stop. I'm trying to watch stupid stand-up and dumb videos to send my buddies. But I'm just like, if we can do that, then he can torture someone with no voice and ask questions. Is all I'm fucking saying.
And I almost forgot. When he stuck the knife in the table and the guy's hands are tied and he's just like, okay, and just puts it around the blade and takes it off. I'm like, what a fucking dumbass.
And then this dumbass gets stabbed.
So that was the third scene that annoyed me the most.
Okay, number 2?
Number 2 is when he sees him outside of the hardware store and the bad guy. Oh, by the way, I didn't mention, bad guy's tattoos dope as hell.
I was going to get to it, but yeah, the bad guy's tattoos are fucking awesome. Some of the best makeup tattoo work I've ever seen in movies.
And anyway, I feel like I needed to say that.
You 100% did. I was going to say it at some point.
But he's handed out money to the kids, and I'm like, oh, this guy grew up in this neighborhood. He knows how tough it is. This is the only way to get by. He made it. He's sharing the wealth. He's helping his community. Interesting. I didn't see this coming. Never comes back. We have no idea why he was doing it.
And they end the scene with this bitch randomly wanting to spill ice cream on this dude. And it makes no fucking sense. They don't even bring up the fact that they saw his knife. They just wanted to pour ice cream on this guy.
Speaking of that, they zoom in to the, I'm assuming, heroin needle injection site, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, is this part of the storyline? Or like, did they get her hooked and now she's essentially, a prostitute for them because they got her hooked on drugs? That's pretty interesting. Nope, never comes up again. Why'd you zoom in on that wound? Why?
Yep. But it's hard to delve into those things when no one fucking talks.
And
your number one scene that is there one more thing about this scene?
No, I have an honorable mention just because it's real short. It was in that last battle when we've already established that the lead character's a badass. Then Kid Cudi, the detective, comes in, and we establish him as a badass real quick.
Was that Kid Cudi?
Yeah, it was Kid Cudi.
Okay, cool.
And they both get taken out by a woman who just took heroin.
Yeah, because it's not like heroin's like meth or PCP. Heroin is the ultimate downer. It's the ultimate, I'm fucking chilling right now. Leave me the fuck alone.
It is not the last scene in Scarface with the cocaine. That pissed me off.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, fair. What a great honorable pissed off mention. That's good.
And the number one thing that pissed me off is in the 15-minute montage, two things here. Number one, oh, he's going to go buy guns. He's going to have an awesome arsenal of guns. I'm so excited to see this. Nope, he's got a mediocre handgun and an old sawed-off shotgun, and that's it. And the number one thing that pisses me off, he goes and he gets the Mustang GT. He brings it in the garage. He flips the welding helmet down, and the welder goes off. And I'm like, yes, they're going to have a badass car in this movie. He's going to mod the hell out of this thing. It's going to be so cool. He puts a fucking bumper cover on. He puts a goddamn brush hog on it, and that's it. He doesn't do anything else with this car. I was so mad. I was so mad when that's all he did with the car. A brush guard? I was screaming at the television. Screaming at it. I was so mad.
Awesome. What a great Mount Rushmore of scenes. Mine's not that good. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Okay, my Mount Rushmore of scenes. I will start with the opening car chase gunfight? Question mark? I'm just like, this has to be an honorable mention of scenes that annoyed you too. Like, why are you going to hit a car with guns in it with a pole?
Well, so you saw the trailer or read the summary, so you knew his kid had died. I had no idea. I didn't know what was going on. I kind of thought that he was Santa Claus for the most part of this scene.
Okay. I mean, even with me knowing that his kid just died, I'm just like, why? I don't understand why we're attacking a car with a pole. This makes no sense to me. I know people do unreasonable shit when their kids die, and at first it looked like he was running after the balloon, which they should have just kept that. They should have just kept him running after the balloon. But whatever. I very much enjoyed the forklift decapitation.
That's fair.
That was fucking awesome. That's why this makes my Mount Rushmore. And then another reason this makes my Mount Rushmore is so I can say this. So I'm assuming because of the throat shot, he can't throw the dick anymore. My third favorite scene is again, I guess, a training montage double question mark.
It's too long for a montage, right?
It's way too long, and it stops being a montage halfway through and then picks back up the same montage. But you can't pick back up the same montage. You have to change montages.
Again, this scene annoyed me so much. I didn't even mention that it was a 15-minute montage that was split and then went back to the same montage with the most boring music of all time behind it.
I'm just like, if you're gonna choose a movie where no one talks in it, and again, only one person lost their vocal cords and no one talks, so mind-boggling to start with. But if you're going to do a movie where no one talks, you have to have a better soundtrack, right? Like, yes, the soundtrack was dog shit.
Yes. And the little music box, use the little music box like Omar whistling The Farmer in the Dell before he's about to knock off the Corner Boys.
John Woo's never seen The Wire, okay? John Woo has never, ever, ever seen The Wire. Don't put that on that man, okay? Someone on his team should have seen The Wire and should have brought that idea up so we can attack them. But again, this is a pro John Woo podcast, even though this movie is absolute horseshit that can suck donkey dick. So I'm not going to put that on John Woo. I won't. Okay, my third favorite scene, the torture scene. Yeah, my second favorite, the torture scene. And this kind of harkens back to the montage scene. I'm going to start the torture scene with this, and this goes through the rest of my favorite scenes. You can train with dummies all you want, but getting hit is fucking different.
Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth.
Yes, and uh, again with the no talking, there were a couple things that John Woo did really well, and so did the actors because they had to convey emotion, and they didn't do a horrible job. To go back to things I liked about this movie, I think all the actors did a pretty fucking good job considering that they weren't allowed to talk.
I'm not blaming any of the actors for any
No,
of this.
no, they did pretty good with what they were given, honestly. Because again, this movie's dog shit. But there were a number of times that you could see the expression on this dude's face. Holy shit! I was not planning to get hit that hard. That fucking hurts.
And this is where I thought we were going to get a Batman Begins style. Oh, I've been training, but not hard enough or not in the right ways. I need to go back and do some more training.
Yeah. This could be a really good like mini series or whatever if one you give this guy an internal monologue and you let other people talk. Like there's a good story here.
Yes, there's good stuff in here.
Yeah. So my other notes on this, again, why don't we use AI or Siri? And how is he so dumb? How'd he lose a knife? And also another thing that annoys me. How can he scream when he has memories of his child, but he can't scream when he's getting stabbed?
I don't know. I didn't care at this point in the movie. He already did all the looked like he was going to do cool stuff for the guard, just put a brush guard on it. I was done at that point. If it wasn't for the podcast, I would have turned it off right then.
Okay, and then my last note on this torture scene is when he was getting his ass kicked by the money guy, do you think that he thought maybe I need to train for another year? This guy just moves the money?
Same thoughts went through my head.
Just like, damn, this guy can kick ass. All he does is move money. Maybe I should fucking train some more. Okay, and then my fourth favorite scene, because I'm a traditionalist, I guess, in some things like the podcast. Um, I did a traditional Mount Rushmore, so of course I have an Eddie Guerrero lice eating chill.
Viva la raza.
Viva la raza. So my number one favorite scene is him fighting all of the gangsters from the moment that starts to when it ended. Because I mean, essentially, just like the monologue, it's all one scene, but it stops and then picks back up. It's fucking weird.
Oh, it's a stairwell fight scene. You can't go wrong with a stairwell fight scene.
No, but it's not just a stairwell fight scene because it starts with him attacking the two guys outside the bar.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. I forgot you Eddie Guerrero'd it.
Yeah, this is all one scene, and then it just stops and picks back up, and the guy's fighting outside the bar. Like, why did he go around in circles, which is the easiest way to hang on to the hood of a car versus driving really fast and slamming on his brakes?
I don't know.
Like, John Woo, you know this is how this works. Also, why didn't Homeboy start following him after he saw him, after getting the text from his boss? And then once he does start following him, and he's running away and he comes up to that blue truck, which the scene ended up being cool because the cars crash into each other and whatnot. But after killing those three people in front of the blue truck, there is no car behind him. Why didn't he just reverse instead of trying to move a parked vehicle?
He didn't put a brush guard on the Mustang for no reason, bro.
Okay. Then there's a brush guard on the front. When he after he flips the blue truck around and the other car rams into him, and he's going down the alleyway with the bike behind him, and there's no room for the bike to get on the side. Why didn't he just slam on his brakes? And then if that wasn't what he was gonna do, why didn't he slam on his brakes whenever he was holding onto the guy's arm when he was reached into the car? And just okay. The car explosion with people on fire, that was cool. I love that. I love stairway fight scenes, but why is this one so boring?
I didn't think it was that boring. The
No, no, no,
stairwell part.
no. It was boring. It, it it's boring on a curve, okay? Because it's hard to make a stairwell fight scene suck, just like it's hard to make a kitchen fight scene suck, an elevator fight scene suck. Like you can't make them suck. So it sucks on a curve. It's boring on a
Yeah.
curve.
I was saying relative to the rest of the movie.
Okay, then we're on the same page because it's on a curve. Like
Yeah.
was fucking awesome, and they were great death scenes in the staircase fight scene. But again, it was, eh, you know.
Did you like how he killed the final bad guy?
We're getting there because
Okay.
the coolest death was the headshot with the final bad guy's head hitman. That was cool. And I was like, okay. And then right after that, we get double pistols from Kid Cudi, classic John Woo. I'm like, okay, cool. This is going to end on a super good note. Staircase fight scene, kind of boring on a curve, but still really awesome. Double or headshot to the dome, double pistols. Heroin chick shoots up both these fucking cocksuckers. And then this guy walks into this room with ornaments flying around everywhere and takes 2 whole fucking clips to only the body vest. Really? 2 entire clips from 9mm to only the body vest? And then this guy just chokes out the final boss? Get fucked. Get
How
fucked.
how was the knife not involved in the final death of the boss? How was it not? That is something the scriptwriters have to look over and be like, that's the first thing we introduced. That's the first thing we saw him training with. That's what he's going to use.
Yep.
It's so simple.
Yep. And I would have been okay with 2 clips to the body vest if the knife was used. But another thing that pissed me off was after him taking 2 clips to the body vest, like really the cop with 2 belly shots is going to show up? That dude's bleeding out where he fucking got shot.
Also, hey, detective, why don't you put one on?
You can't see it, but my hands are up in the air, guys.
The look on your eyes was so disappointed.
I wanted this movie to be so good. I wanted it to be so good. Like Violent Night, incredible movie. I need to watch it. I need to rewatch it. Fat Man last year, not great, but low budget and
Had its moments.
done relatively well considering how low budget it was and good story. This movie, utter dog shit. Utter fucking dog shit. All right, Mount Rushmore scenes is done. Thank God. Character breakdown. Let's blow through this real quick. Good guy never talks. Good guy's wife never talks. Bad guy never talks.
Looks
Bad
cool, though.
guy's girl looks real cool. Bad guy's girlfriend never talks, and even though she's on meth, even though she's on heroin, seems like she's on meth. Detective played by Kid Cudi does classic John Woo double wielding pistols, never talks. Nailed it. Anything else you want to say?
Don't know why he didn't trust Kid Cudi.
In a movie where no one talks, you can't go into it. You just have to accept it.
Sure. There's one other thing that I want to bring up that I hadn't brought up yet. Okay. If you're not going to have anybody talk and you're not going to have any action sequences for the first 50 minutes or whatever, can you show us cool stuff? Can you show us not just a normal neighborhood and a normal garage? Like, I think if you did this and you're showing 11th century China, this is awesome. I think if you're doing this and you're going down the streets of Venice, it's awesome. I think if the guy's got a badass garage, it's better. But what they're showing visually without action, without dialogue, and you're showing us kind of just a normal house and a decent garage. Ugh, come on.
Yep. Agreed.
And So he had a plan where he was going to attack them on Christmas Eve. What was the plan? Was that his plan all along?
Yeah.
Were we supposed to know that was his plan?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just an idiot then.
Yeah. All right, trivia. Pretty much all the trivia is has one Joe Kinnaman trivia and all John Woo. So you're welcome. I'll just start with the John Kinnaman trivia. It's the first of 2 movies in 2 years silent in the title and starring John Kinnaman having to fight criminals after getting impaired early on in the movie. The other one being The Silent Hour from 2004. As long as the whole movie's not silent, I'll watch it. Because I mean, this guy's not a bad actor. The first thing I saw him in was a remake into the Swedish TV show The Killing, which was pretty fucking good. Like, he's not bad. This movie doesn't make me not watch his movies or John Woo.
No, and I told you, I blame none of the actors did a poor job in this movie at all. They didn't have a lot to work with.
John Woo's daughter, I'm not even Angelise Woo plays the role of the policewoman killed during the gang shootout. Silent Night marks John Woo's American directorial comeback since Paycheck, which we already talked about.
Watch that instead.
Oh, Kid Cudi was a big fan of John Woo and agreed to be in the film based on his fandom. While shooting, he insisted that there be a scene where his character uses 2 pistols as seen in Woo's earlier movies.
Of course, Kid Cudi says that.
Yeah. The fictional police precinct is called Las Palomas, Spanish for the Doves, which director John Woo is known to include in slow motion scenes.
I thought you were going to say Spanish for the Palomas.
Awesome.
I didn't catch that. That's great.
Right. There's good trivia to this movie. John Kinnaman's character is drinking a vodka called Duva. Duva is the Swedish word for pigeon, which becomes both a nod to Kinnaman's home country and John Woo's trademark of often using pigeons or doves in his movies.
I kept waiting for doves. I'm not going to lie. I kept waiting for doves in this movie.
They were fucking in there. This is for all our bird lovers that are listeners to this pod, you know.
Ornithologist.
The guy that studies rocks would know the term for bird lovers. Fucking loser. The black and blue bird shown on the outside windowsill of Brian's hospital room is a blue-masked lovebird. Except in rare cases, such as in Phoenix, Arizona, these birds are not native to the U.S., meaning that the one shown in the movie would very likely be an escaped pet rather than a wild bird. Lovebirds are monogamous and mate for life. I wish there was some kind of symbology on why that bird was used here, but with no one talking in this dumbass movie, who fucking knows? To end trivia, it's kind of long, but you know, I think the reason John Woo did this movie, and I'm a sucker for scenes that are shot in one take because I like movies. I mean, I have a movie podcast. But in a 2013 interview with The Ringer, which we're big fans of The Ringer can sponsor this podcast anytime they're fucking ready.
Yeah. Call us Bill Simmons.
Yeah.
We'll work for you. We can talk hoops or football or something too if you need us.
We can.
You can't talk hoops. I can talk hoops.
No, I can't talk hoops. But if you'll support my podcast, I'll start watching basketball tomorrow. Like, I'll be the biggest basketball fan ever.
I'll know all about the pick and roll.
Yeah, that's right. There won't be nobody that knows about the pick and roll better than me. I'm a pick and roll master. Anyways, John Woo spoke about why he enjoyed the process of making the film independently versus for a major studio. When I was shooting Silent Night, it made me feel like I was back working in Hong Kong with a much smaller team. There are no producers on the set. Nobody interferes from the studio. I just feel free to do it. For a studio movie, you could have a lot more time to shoot a lot more coverage, shots, different angles. But for an independent film, Every shot you make, every single frame, it's got to be exactly what you want and what you feel. It's good training for me. There was a scene where Joel Kinnaman walks into his son's room and sees all the toys. In the script, there was a flashback to the father and son playing with toys, and there were so many cuts. We felt that it was so boring and we didn't have enough time to shoot everything. Yeah, you heard that right. They read something in the script where nobody talks and thought it was too boring. Anyways.
Do you by part of the script? Do you mean the entire thing?
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, we only had half a day. All of a sudden, Joel came up to me and said, John, maybe I return to the bed to sleep next to my son. I thought it was a good idea. So I came up with shooting it all in one shot, one long take. So I asked him to lie down on the bed and the camera pushes into him. There's nothing on the other side of the bed. And then we get closer. We put the little kid beside him. We pull back and he's next to the boy. And then we get the camera pushing in again and the boy disappears and Good Luck wakes up so disappointed. Everybody on set was so excited. I had never done this before. So to do everything all in one shot with so much meaning, even the cameraman was moved by this shot. That's the good thing about independent movies. You have to do something very precise and think very quickly. You are completely alone. Nobody can help you. You have to accept it. I actually really enjoy independent movies now. I like long shots. I thought it was a cool bit of trivia. I just wish the movie was better.
So, sometimes you need some input.
Yeah. Couldn't have said it better myself, BJ. Sometimes you need some input. Okay, BJ, so I think for the impersonation segment of this pod, we can do it at the exact same time.
You ready?
Yeah, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. We fucking nailed that. I think that's the best impersonation we've ever done.
It's the most accurate.
Oh, okay. Should they remake this? Yeah, I mean, just do it better. There's a story here. There's action scenes here. There's build up and character development, and there's so many things in the story that can be done the right way.
And they didn't do any of it. And they didn't even make it fun.
Yeah.
That's the disappointing part. It's just not fun.
Yep. It's a dog shit of a movie.
It's so irritating.
All right. Good and bad IMDb reviews. Before we get into this one doesn't bring it up, but BJ, you said we get into it more later. Most of the good IMDb reviews I read said that the people that didn't like this movie probably don't have kids and you have to be a parent to really enjoy this, and that it's actually a tearjerker.
It's not, though.
And you have kids.
Yeah. And if something happened to them, I'd do more than put a brush guard on a Mustang.
Boom, roasted. All right, to start us off by P the Demon.
I thought you were about to say P. Diddy.
Wouldn't that be great? A journey through the woo past.
Is that a pun?
It was attempting to be, yes.
Okay.
Personally, I can't understand the negative reviews. Silent Night is a colorful mix of John Woo's earlier works. Is that bad? Not for me. Woo always stood for melodrama paired with grandiose and bloody action where logic always falls by the wayside. But this isn't about logic either. It's about okay.
I'm sorry. John Woo is not about melodrama. That is an incorrect statement.
But this isn't about logic either. It's about family, loss, and revenge. Simple and poignant. Heroic. Bloodshed meets new school is how I would describe it. Okay, a lot of things are exaggerated in action movies, but that didn't appeal to me at least. but that didn't appeal to me least disturbed, because Woo has always crossed the threshold into logical action at some point in his films, and at a certain point simply unleashes a death ballet of blood and tears.
This is the man that did Face Off, where they literally took his face off.
Goodbye, bro. I like Silent Night, both in action and in the quiet scenes. And I have to admit, I had a tear in my eye at the end.
Oh, if you like the quiet scenes, you'll love this movie.
All right, by Hanging Tree 75238, titled The Worst.
Fair title.
Yeah.
This is the worst movie we've done on this podcast.
100%. It's not even close. Hopefully we'll never do something this bad. Because bad movies have to be fun. Sharknado's fun. Hobo with a Shotgun is fun. Machete is fun.
I mean, even the bad Hallmark Christmas movies we do, they're at least fun.
Yep. All right. Officially, the worst movie in cinema history. Not a single word in the entire movie. Never seen a title of movie that literally describes the movie, except it's not a night, it's a whole movie. If there was -11, I would rate it. Terrible plot, zero character development. And the end of the movie, the protagonist and the detective die together like they are old friends, which they've had no interaction in the entire movie at all.
Correct. Wait, did they die?
I would. I mean, yeah. I don't know if the detective died, but he died because he was buried next to his kid. Fucking loser. Everyone who has been on this movie should be in jail or mental asylum. They have zero IQ and zero logic. I should have watched an Indian movie. What a waste of money and time. My God.
Hey, he's bringing it back to Monkey Man. Yeah, watch Monkey Man instead. It's not perfect.
Yep.
I'm not even sure if it's good, but it's a lot better than this.
It's so much better than this. Watch Monkey Man. Okay, BJ, I want to do my rating of this movie before you.
A -11?
No. all I want to do is reference Face Off. This movie would have been better with even the touch of the lightest incest.
Oh my God. I was wondering, I'm like, how is he gonna fit Face Off into this?
I've been waiting the whole pod to say that. This movie gets a 1 out of 10 for me.
Yeah. I had it at a 1.2. I don't really know why. Probably because the bad guy looked cool. It was a 0.2.
Sure.
But it's far and away the worst movie we've done on this podcast.
Yeah, it's way bad. And we this is how we started the Christmas season. So you're welcome, everybody.
I did tell your brother, I was like, you're off the hook for what was the Kevin Hart heist movie?
Lift.
Yeah, I was like, you're off the hook. We saw a worse movie than that.
Yeah. Every one of us gave Lift 4 stars, I think. Maybe 3 was as low as it got.
If you told me you have to watch Lift 3 times or this movie once, I'm watching Lift 3 times.
100%. 100%. I'm watching Lift 3 times and the Hallmark movie with the kids 3 times before I'm watching this movie one more time. Dude, there were people that on good IMDb reviews that compared this movie to Die Hard.
That's absolutely insane.
Like, shoot me in the face. That upsets me. Can you see how upset I am right now?
I like there's movies I watch that are bad and I just make it through it and I'm like, oh, that kind of sucked. But whatever. This movie made me angry.
Yeah. What was that one Scarlett Johansson movie that we thought about doing 2 Octobers ago?
I
Under
know
the
what you're talking about. Under the Skin.
Under
Under
the
the what?
Skin. Yeah, Under the Skin. So I watched this entire movie while laying on an air mattress next to my mom, who couldn't fucking talk because she just ran into a tree. And that movie was bad. I told you that you shouldn't even waste your time watching that movie. We should pick something else. This movie's worse.
I'm telling you, it made me angry. I don't know if I've ever
Yeah.
been angry watching a movie. I was angry.
Yeah. This movie's worse. I mean, how how could how could I like a movie less than it being a shitty Scarlett Johansson movie that you never see her naked, that has little to no talking?
I think she does get naked in that movie.
No, you get a side profile and you
Oh,
see it doesn't happen. And there's little to no talking, but there's way more talking in this movie. While laying next to my mom on an air mattress, hoping she doesn't need to use the bathroom so I don't have to help her.
as you're super bummed out,
Yeah,
as somebody,
because my mom ran into a tree and I have to be there to help her anything that she needs. Like how could a movie be worse than that movie? This movie's worse.
yeah, like when my dad had the heart attack and I read Dune in the hospital, I was like, couldn't enjoy it because you know my dad was unresponsive for 2 days.
Yeah.
You watched a bad movie in that headspace, and it was still better than this.
Yeah. Yep. Do not watch this movie. We can't emphasize that enough.
There's no even like I was even thinking, I was like, well, could someone just fast forward like past the 15-minute montage and then watch it and enjoy it? And I don't think so. I
No,
don't think so.
no. The action scenes weren't that good. And I know that's disheartening to all our John Woo fans. We are John Woo fans too.
Yes, still are. Still are. Not
Still are. Yeah.
everyone makes mistakes. This
Yep.
was John Woo's one.
Yep. So we need to do a fourth movie for Christmas, because we have this movie, our Hallmark movie, and Home Alone. It's not streaming anywhere, but if one of the movie websites that I use, that shall remain unnamed, has the Norwegian Christmas movie Rare Exports, are you down to read subtitles?
I can read.
No, I know, but some
I
people
know
aren't.
I know what an ornithologist is. I can read.
That's true. I'm just like, sometimes like you might not be in the mood for a subtitled movie, is all I'm asking.
Are we did your sister want to do one?
Uh I don't know, maybe. I don't know if she'd have headphones in time. But since you're down for subtitles, if Rare Exports might be our fourth Christmas movie, just to make up for this dog shit of a movie.
Uh, like I finished this movie at like 10:30 last night. And I was like, do I need to watch like Face Off or something to get this John Woo taste out of my mouth? Like not the whole thing. Like I was like, should I just watch like 20 minutes of Face Off?
Right, right, right. Nah, I get that. I thought you were gonna go with, I finished watching this movie at 10:30 at night, and I just like, man, I don't even want to masturbate anymore. That fucking sucks.
I still wanted to.
Fair enough. All right, well, Merry Christmas, everybody. Sorry we started with such a fucking turd, but let's just put it this way: this is for all you bad motherfuckers out there who deserve coal in your stocking. You got silent. You guys to listen to the podcast of Silent Night. Hopefully, if you're a bad motherfucker, you watched it before listening to the podcast. But even if you listen to the podcast, I know it wasn't great.
It was just us railing on a movie for an hour.
So you're welcome.
I, but honestly, like, can you explain the trailer to me? Because obviously you said it to me and I was like, yeah, I'm down. So
The
part of
trailer
the trailer
the
show?
trailer just takes all the good parts of this movie. You know the kid dies. You know the guy's on revenge, and then you see action sequences that make you excited that it's a John Woo movie. Like it's not a lot, but you know that his kid dies. You know that he's on a quest for revenge, and you see some action sequences after seeing that it's directed by John Woo, and you're like, "Fuck yeah, I'm down." How could I not be? When we get off the call, go watch it and
Okay.
tell me that you wouldn't have been down. Because
Well,
if you say no, you're a liar.
that's why we do the podcast, right?
Yes.
So other people don't make the same mistake we did.
Yeah, and it's just I remember my first time, and most first times aren't great. And the cool thing about having a movie podcast is a lot of times they are. Some but sometimes you get a movie where you're just like, yeah, this reminds me of the first time I had sex for sure.
And I have to say that probably about 2 o'clock today, I finally got over being angry about this movie. And after doing this pod, like I'm angry again.
Yeah. See, for me, the credits started rolling. I hit MMFMe, and I'm like, all right, go take a shower. I need to do this podcast. So I came into this pod fucking fuming. I came into it fuming.
Wait, did you make Nema watch the whole thing?
No. Nemo was on her phone.
Okay.
Yeah, I rewound it for some good kill shots, and that's about it.
Okay, good.
Yeah. I didn't watch the whole thing. I was on my phone a lot. Like, you were putting your kids to bed, and I was upset because I'm just like, why is it BJ texting me? Like, fuck this asshole.
Because I was like, I didn't explicitly say it, but I thought the context of my messages.
Hold on. But you say what you're about to say. I'm gonna quote Jay and Silent Bob. Just like, why is it BJ texting me? I'm like, fuck this asshole. Let's go cornhole us a drunk.
Because I sent you messages after watching it, and I didn't explicitly say it, but I thought it was pretty clear. Like, don't make Nema, don't subject Nema to this movie.
Wait, BJ, did you notice that I just did an off quote of Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back? Or
Yeah.
have you not seen that movie enough?
I knew the cornhole bit, but I didn't remember
Okay, it was
or what they were cornholing.
It was when Jay and Silent Bob were making the escape from the state troopers with the orangutan, and they slid into the storm drain.
Yeah,
And the cop goes, "Fuck this asshole! Let's go cornhole us a drunk." Okay, it's been a little over an hour. We can stop railing on this movie. This is IRMFT. You know, again, you'll hear us say that we're back at it. Hopefully, we actually stay on point this time. We have too much fun doing this podcast. Because, just like when me and BJ make jokes in real life, the jokes are for no one else but us, and this podcast is only for us. So, fuck you assholes that won't listen to our pod.
What one other person?
Yeah, my brother. And every time we bring on a guest, we're at least guaranteed one extra listener that week because they're going to listen to their own episode.
I'm not even sure that's true.
I'm going to text my friends now and see if they've ever listened to the episode that they were on, because that's fucking funny. That's fucking funny. Anyways, check us out on social media. Check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcast, wherever you listen to your podcast. If you listen to your podcast and we're not there, hit us up. We'll fucking find a way to put it on there.
We'll send it to you. We'll just MP3 send it to you in a Dropbox.
Hell yeah, we will. Anyways, we'll see y'all later.
Bye.